They'll do anything to stop social movement. They protect what they have because they think that we are jealous of them. They think that we want what they have. we don't want we don't want anything to do with you people. At least I don't. All right. So I have a hard time where I don't speak for anyone but myself. I only speak for me. I am not a thought leader. I'm a thought haver. And if you follow me, if you think like I think, I condemn you. Get out of here. Go get your own thoughts. Be your own leader. Um, weird stuff. Weird stuff. They them. You not they them. They them are cool by me, but the they powers that be, the establishment, the institution, they think that we were jealous. They think that we want what they have. They're like, besides cyclical power based on uh influencing people who already believe like you do, what do you have? What do you even have? And why would anyone want it from you, you know? Now, do I want like a home that my family's in for me to like put up a Christmas tree where my daughter can come by on Christmas and open up presents? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Do I want your home? Do I want your kids? Do I want your life? No. I wouldn't do what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't be an opportunistic political tool bag to achieve anything. To pretend like all right. So, it's tough. You can't be non-political because if you are interactive with the public at all, you're already politicized. Your existence is politicized because politics is how the public manages. And so if you partake in the public, you're politicized. Plain and simple. Now, there's a certain group of people that has always wanted to instruct others, lead others. They think of themselves as thought leaders, and they take themselves very seriously. Very serious, not wrestling ball, you know. And they want to instill through any means necessary only what they think is right. They again being the churches, the government. The people are supposed to be separate. You can't separate church and government when it's the same people. It's the same people. Now they're gonna be like, well, I do what I can to, dispel any biases. But look at the results. Look at the results of the Supreme Court. The police have no obligation to protect you or I. They're not. So what is their job then? What is the job of the police if not to protect innocent people? I'm at a loss. Okay. It's easy to just commentate. That's why I don't want to become a commentator people. Because it's easy to commentate and criticize. It's easy to stay out of the game, to observe and act like you know things, because you're not there on the field in the moment that these calls are being made. You're a backseat driver, you know. And I don't want to become a critic or a commentator, but I do have to speak up on behalf. Now I've done in my personal life. This is the only right here. This thing that I'm doing here. This is the only tool I have right now to be able, because it used to be that I could live out in the world when you don't have legal issues. You can just live out in the public world and exist without stress that the police are gonna capture you at any moment, beat the crap out of you, drag you to court because you missed a court date over a case that's already been settled. Like, it looks bad on paper right now. It's like, oh, felony possession of a stolen motor, felony assault on a police officer. But they don't know that I've already signed the paperwork to have these charges reduced, have the stolen motor vehicle tossed out, and the assault on a police officer reduced to a misdemeanor assault for 1 year of probation. I already signed that paperwork. But because the judge has like friends and an agenda, they kept pushing my court date back. So through the winter, knowing I'm homeless, they knew I wasn't gonna make it. They knew. I was very explicitly clear with these folks that I am a homeless person. And so December rolls around, and this is the fourth time they've continued my case, and they're only supposed to be able to continue it 3 times, but they do what they want. You know, I don't. As an American citizen, I do not do what I want. It's not allowed. now I'm harassing people because if Brandon does what he wants. So I need this outlet. This is the only tool I have to be able to stand up for what's right and what's good in the world. My apologies to the trans folk that I grew up with or who do. Okay, so I grew up with a few trans folk, and I'm gonna tell you, they were always trans. There was no indoctrination. There wasn't a book that they read that trans them. It wasn't a person that they met. All right. And so, but because they were always trans, they never got into the LGBTQ community. And so they never learned the verbiage. And so I never learned the verbiage. I didn't know that we couldn't say, I didn't know that there was a slur. I knew that they were slurred on, but I didn't understand that it was just the terminology. So there's a bit that I do where if you listen to it the first time and you're an LGBTQ person, you might get offended, be like, he's making a joke about trans people. And if you listen to that joke 2-3 times, and if you get to know me as a person, but anyway, regardless of who I am, take me out of the equation. The joke itself, if you analyze the joke, is not on trans people. It's on society and how trans people are viewed and talked about. To me, now, what makes me a good comedian, right, is that I will cross lines. I will do that. Cause we gotta keep testing where the lines are, because they keep trying to move the lines. They do goalpost shifting. And you got to see, that's one of those jokes that I use to see where the audience is at and what they're thinking. It's people say, "Oh, you got to read the room." It's like, well, You can't read the room until you fucking throw some tea leaves in that bitch. You got to throw some tea leaves into the room in order for the room to be readable. You got to do that. Cuz it's so easy to make jokes about oppressed people. That's kind of the antithesis of comedy is making jokes about oppressed people. You gotta what they say is punching up is when you attack the oppressor. That's what they say is punching up. Now, okay, in my journey, I've met some comedians who are very famous right now, but they weren't famous when I met them, like Gianmarco Cerisi, for example. He was a dismissive dickhead to me because of preconceptions and things other people told him, not because of his actual personal interactions with me. And because of that, he's one of the people that I find myself harassing. He is a fake leftist. I don't like frauds. One of the first people that I got into it with was a fake hippie. Because I was attracted to the guy because he had the hippie vibe, but then come to find out he's like a right wing nut job in disguise. He's actually a racist, misogynist piece of shit, and so and that comes down to me. I've had to do a lot of self reflection since I started comedy on what how okay when I first the first 4 years that I did comedy, I actually took a moment after that. Life got a little crazy, things got knocked around, and I had to take a moment to reflect. And when I did that, I realized that most of the people who followed me on Facebook, which doesn't exist anymore. I don't exist on Facebook anymore. If there's any me's on Facebook as of like a week ago, it's not me, because I had one that I was kind of knocking around with but I forgot the password, and I don't really care that much about Facebook. Facebook can get fucked for all the times they've kicked me off their platform for violating community guidelines when my community thought it was fucking hilarious. Okay, I don't know what to say about that. But it goes to show you who's really in charge and how. Because they'll sit there on their public face and be like, cancel culture is mean, cancel culture bad, and then report everything and thumbs down everything you post on the internet. Wild stuff. Anyway, they're hypocrites. The hypocrites, a lot of them. They're all liars. They're all hypocrites. They're all full of shit, and it'd be hard pressed to prove otherwise. And not because you can't prove a negative. You can definitely sometimes prove a negative. There are circumstances within which you could definitely be like, that guy's negative, and I can prove it. No. So anyway, I have a hard time collecting and organizing my thoughts because I have dualistic, maybe trialistic, I don't know, dualistic personality traits that get in the way of my message sometimes. Because my message isn't even like mine. I'm building on the backs of giants. Okay, this whole freedom thing started way before me, and that's it. That's what it boils down to. Is freedom. People shouldn't have to beg the government for their rights. And most specific, like when it comes to my kid, there's what I could go to court, and but then I'd have to beg the state for my rights, and then hope that they institute them over this woman, my kid's mother. And to me, that's not beneficial. Because then the state has to enforce my rights. Because it would have happened especially by now, at least one weekend where Jess was like, I don't want to send her this weekend. And what would I do? I would have to just eat that, and or otherwise call the cops and cry like a bitch. The cops, she won't let me see the kid. We got an agreement. And then what? Then the cops show up and forcibly remove my kid from her home? No, get fucked. The fact that that's acceptable to anyone, the fact that that's the norm, the fact that that's regular is fucking fucked. That's shitty. Don't do better, please, people. Like that, there are better systems than that. Do guys with guns going to collect children because the kid's parent are disagreeable? What is that? And then from there, police are known for de-escalation. They're real good at taking already tense circumstances and just making them better. No. No. That's not what happens. It's not the world that we live in. The ideals that we are sold as children do not match reality. Thanks for